Alright, so here we are all the way up to P for the publishing pickle. I call this the publishing pickle after the idea in baseball when somebody goes to steal a plate or a base or whatever it is. I don't follow baseball very well, so using something from baseball is kind of funny. Um, so the idea is that when somebody steals a base, another person throws the ball over to the base before the person can get to the base, and so they change their mind and they run back to the base that they had been on before, and of course the ball is thrown there before they can quite get there. And a pickle often ends poorly, but if the ball's fumbled, that player's probably going to get a base, which is whatever. But in publishing, it turns out to be an emotional booby trap, and it's one that I let myself be lured into repeatedly, especially early on. And one of the problems with being lured into something is that sometimes you don't notice it, you don't recognize it, and it is an emotional booby trap. And it goes kind of like this. Maybe you've heard it. So I've decided to submit my material to Easy to Publish magazine. It's really cool because they publish a lot of new things, but it's no big deal. I mean, if they accept it at Easy to Publish magazine, it's no big deal. It won't be any kind of neat thing at all. It'll just be. I mean, they publish everybody, right? So there's the situation. Now, the big problem is once you have established that idea, that mode of thinking in your head, it doesn't matter what happens. You have diminished the outcomes. Now, we do this to protect ourselves, which is ironic because this is how we hurt ourselves. So we're like, oh, well, everybody gets published in that one, except that when there's a rejection instead of an acceptance. So if there's a rejection instead of an acceptance, it seems even harsher because it's easy to publish magazine. That's easy to get published in. And that's rough. You got rejected by Easy to Publish magazine? Ouch. And this is sort of where that little voice in your head goes kind of crazy at you, and you can't even be published by Easy to Publish magazine? What were you thinking? Yeah, my little voice is particularly rude and obnoxious and quite loud, just so you know. The other side of it is that even if you get published, you sort of feel like, oh, but it's easy to publish. I mean, that doesn't count. Might as well publish at the school newspaper. Everybody gets published there. Which means that you've taken all of the joy out of something. You've taken all of the victory that you can have, and you've diminished it because everybody can have that victory, so it's not really a victory. And you've made the rejection significantly worse. So this is an emotional booby trap. And we use it all over the place. When you submit to, agents who are new agents, I don't know why it is that people feel like new agents have no standards, because that's absolutely not the case. New agents might be willing to take risks on material that's maybe more experimental, but they're not going to just pick up bad material. That doesn't mean it's easier to get an agent. It might mean it's easier to get an agent, by the way, if you're in a really glutted field, because they might not have books like that or authors who write that yet. So, that's one reason, but it doesn't make it easier. Your book still has to be good. Everything still has to be great. I mean, it has to be better than good. It has to be spectacular. That's what the agents are always saying, is that your book has to be really, really good. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten a rejection off of a full that was like, this is really good, but it's not for me. It's not really my thing. So I'm glad that you submitted this to me because I enjoyed reading it. And I know you'll be signed soon, so, have fun. Spoiler alert, nobody signed that book. So, the publishing pickle. The thinking that it's easy and then not getting it, or the thinking that it's easy, thus diminishing the triumph of actually getting it. Try not to do this. It's really upsetting, and it will do more to derail your emotional well-being than many of the other things that we do. This one's pretty bad. So, yeah. Good luck out there.